Sonic transmissions, sonic universal light transmission, sonic high frequency transmission. What is that? Well, sonic refers to sound, and it is very high frequency energies, love, light, healing energies that I am inviting in through my instrument, my body, which is strongly developed vocally, also physically. I've been doing from decades vocal training I had done in the beginning, and then physical training. I've been a yogi for more than 30 years. The sun is beautifully coming in. And I also was trained as an actress, which is also very physical training. So that has prepared me to be able to hold these really high frequency energies that are now really strongly coming in this moment in time because of mankind's switch and move and rise into literally a higher frequency. The whole planet is moving into a less denser energy. And so many light workers like myself, a light worker simply means is somebody who's dedicated their life to the upliftment of humanity, always holds the good of people at heart and focuses on positivity and of a heart opening, and just raising the frequency with kindness and smiles and laughter and joy, and that's what a light worker is. Light workers exist in any walk of life. It doesn't matter what you do. You don't have to be a healer or an energy worker, a light worker. My mama is a light worker. She's a housewife, and she loves gardening, and she has trained herself to just be very positive and to speak her truth from her heart, and is kind to people, has a lot of friends, a great circle of friends. She visits them, she brings them gifts, they visit her, they bring her gifts from the heart, gift of time, gift of advice and support, and a listening ear. That's what a light worker is. And then in summer she shares amply and generously her vegetables, which she grows in her garden with much love and care, and she shares it with the whole neighborhood and with family members. So that's a light worker. Yeah. So more and more people on the planet are awakening to this. And so to get back to the sonic transmissions, this is a tool that I am given, divinely given. I have been given. In fact, in 1988, I received in a very mystical way, a light activation. I describe it very precisely in my article, My Personal Disclosure, which is, you can read on my website, and currently I have it also pinned at the top of my Facebook page, and where I'm explaining how I was cut off mid-sentence in a conversation, and I got up and I was kind of moved to walk to the window, and it was a nice sunny day, and all of a sudden this big blast of white light, a wave of white light came towards me. It was not threatening, it was just, and then it moved through me, and I couldn't see anything in the room or outside the window. Everything just went into this white sphere of light, and it lasted, I would say, at least half an hour in earthen times, and my whole body undulated, and so this light wave was just moving through me and washing through me. And the woman that I had the conversation with, she was a neighbor, she when I came back out of it and everything reappeared in the room, and I turned around and she was sat on the floor, and she looked at me and said, "Whoa, what was that? This huge wave of light came towards you, and I was so curious. It felt so good." So she laid down behind me on the floor, and the wave moved through her too. So I kind of have a witness of it all, which is really funny. Anyway, so ever since that happened, everything changed in my life, and my life became very magical, the most magical. And again, in the article I will talk about all the different incidences that happened. So in essence, I was guided. I lived in Europe at that time. I was guided, I was led to move to America, to New York, and then there I was immediately connected to who became my mentor, of spiritual mentor of 12 years. And so weekly attendance. I went to his trance channeling groups, and this is how I really developed my instrument to really hold these frequencies. So off and on, I was offering sound healing classes and workshops, and also was working one-on-one with people. Not so much, because it literally, honestly, the power that came through me scared me. I was 24 when this started to happen, and I would just lay my hands on people where it said it would ache, and I would just lay my hand there, and then the pain would go away. And then in the workshops, people would claim this ailment disappeared and this disappeared, and then one girl kept miscarrying, and at some point we were dedicated the whole healing circle to her, and then 2 weeks later they conceived, and the child is now in her 20s and a young woman. So every time something like this happened, I was not able to accept that this assistance came through me. Yeah, so I would always freak out sort of and walk away. And then when I moved back to Europe a few years ago, I stopped it all and left it in New York, and focused on some other issues that I needed to attend to. And only the last 2 years, there was a very clear sense of my higher self calling me back to doing this work. And I'm a clear voice channel, and I have been for over 20 years. So what that means, I go into a semi-trance when I'm meditating, and then I receive verbal messages from my higher self, so which manifests as different guides, if you will, but it's always, I do know this is all part of my higher self. And so I would always record these messages, and they're very clear action steps for me to take. And so 2 years ago, I started to receive messages asking me, am I now ready to commit to doing this soul mission of mine, and to really be allowing these energies, these light beings, to move through my voice for the benefit of mankind. And at that point, so much has shifted and changed and healed within me, that I really felt, yes, this is the time now. I am ready to do that. And ever since then, I've been I've been rebuilding online this healing practice of mine. And then in the beginning, it was called voice toning. And in New York for many years, I used to hold voice toning circles and workshops where the participants would make sounds too. So we would space and time travel together. And that was greatly clearing and releasing blockages from people. And artistic people would get rid of writer's blocks or artistic blocks, and just a lot of emotional clearing. So I knew of the benefit and the power of these tones. And so I used to call it sound healing. And then at some point, I was asked to offer practitioner training workshops to teach my one-on-one clients these vibrational body work, I used to call it. And that's what we did at some point, and that was very magical, where people would experience again great, incredible things. I recall one girl, she practiced on her mother at home, who had had a stroke a couple of years prior, and she just worked on with the tones and the sending the energy. And her mother, who couldn't feel anything on the one half of her body, completely regained her sense of she could feel again. Yeah. And then one couple, they were working together, and they claimed they were literally levitating off the floor a couple of centimeters, an inch or so. So it was quite profound work. And so now, these past 2 years, I've been moving this work online, and I've been doing it via Zoom. And this is the first time that I have utilized the quantum field, meaning sound and energy travel, right? There is no, it doesn't, distance doesn't matter. So to me, it was just fascinating to witness working on a client out in California, me being in Europe, right? And it has the same effect. Yeah. So, and also I know that now the transmission, so at some point my higher self told me to call this sonic transmission. It's a transmission of universal light, so it's the correct term of this modality. It's a sonic universal light transmission. And it simply means that I am getting out of the way, my ego self is getting out of the way. I'm kind of going into a semi-trance, and then I'm inviting these high frequency energies. They are of course protected by a prayer of love and light, and they are invited in supersonic, super high, fast, high frequency tones. And I was shown and I was told that what they do, it's a certain frequency, very high in hertz, and they literally move into our cells, and they're rebalancing our cellular structure. Yeah, so the tones are restructuring cells and our DNA. And what that does, in essence, if there is illness or dis-ease in the body, if something is disrupted or out of balance, these tones, like zzz, they quickly put everything back into balance, and then the energy flows again. And that's how instant healing can occur. And so just this past year, I can quickly point out, there was a woman fell and had a fractured rib cage, and I worked on her. She's in California, I'm here in London. I gave her a 20-minute sonic transmission with energy sending of my hands also. And within a day, so she was in excruciating pain, and then within a day, the pain got very dull and almost had left. Only at nighttime, when she turned, the pain would still be there. And then we gave her another treatment a week later, and then it had completely disappeared. Yeah. And another physical example, one woman was run over by a car over her foot 2 years prior, and she was in chronic foot pain. And then one healing circle, she set a very clear intent for that to be resolved and dissolved and transmuted. And the next day, it literally, she said it was gone. And that was a couple of months ago, and she just recently touched base again, and she said it's still gone. Yeah. And then aside from physical healing, there's tremendous emotional shifts are happening, spiritual shifts are happening. Things are just getting very quickly unstuck, and then wherever the participant or the client puts their clear, focused intent, that is where the collaboration comes in, right? That's then what is being addressed and worked on and transmuted and resolved and dissolved. And then there is this quickening that is happening where I have wonderful, just impromptu testimonials from current clients that say the energy just shifts to complete lightness, and things just work out in everyday life. Just simple things, they just become effortless and easy. And that's really the gist of it. Yeah, so it's instantaneous. It is, so people who work with me right now in the mentorship, for example, they're highly committed. So that's really important to understand. So, and I only work with really highly committed people, because that's the way how it works. If you're not committed, if you're just you need to do a little bit more inner work. But if you're really ready to make these major shifts happen in your life, it happens fairly quickly. So I work in a container of 3 months, 12 weeks, and people achieve life-changing results. Yeah, on every level. So it is really fascinating, and it's these sonic transmissions, because they go into our energy field, they go into the cells, they balance out the cellular structure, they shift energies, stuck energies in the aura, in our energy field. So every system is being addressed and rebalanced. And that's pretty much, yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I could explain, but that's really what sonic transmissions are. Yeah. So for more sonic transmissions and light language and sound and energy healing, you can follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Natasya Sati. And I'm so looking forward to having you around and enjoying all these raising of our frequencies, and many blessings to you.